2, 3, 4. And today on the Pilot's Life podcast, we have a very, very dear friend of mine, actually. What some would say more than a friend. Stop your rambling, you'll get to speak. Some will say more than a friend to me. Some would say even to go to the lengths of a brother, but not just a brother, a blood brother. This man has been playing the Pilot's Life since almost the beginning. And it's my pleasure to sit down and discuss the Pilot's Life, what he's up to, his plan in life, and just general things with my brother, Requestname / IA, also known formally and probably more notably as BiggiePhil. How are you doing today, Phil?
Not too bad, not too bad. How are you, man?
Well, I am doing a podcast at 11 in the morning on a Thursday with somebody, and I don't have a job, so I'm kind of questioning what I'm doing with my life, but obviously you know. So what a lot of people don't know, and I still have to explain to people from time to time, and it always shocks me to see their shock, is when I let them know that we're actually related. So can you confirm on the record, because it's been speculated once or twice, that it's just bullshit by newer players, by newer players who don't know, we'll get into it later too, that you are, in fact, related to me. We did come out of the same womb tomb.
Yeah, we did.
All right. We do have the same mother, and as far as we know, father, so.
Yeah.
And our father is dead, obviously, and we will get to that later on in the program, because that's always a fucking fun story. But what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now, this very moment?
Nothing. Playing on my phone. Absolutely nothing.
That's what I figured. That's
Some Family Guy in the back.
Perfect guest. Well, good thing I can't hear it, or else I would fucking
copyright issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Major.
And before I go any further, I also fucked this up. But we discussed this pre-recording. But since I live in Massachusetts, which is a two-party audio recording consent state, you know, if you want to continue talking on this program, I have to let you know that it will be published and made public on the internet for the world to consume. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, I'm aware.
All right, and the date is 12/19/2019. Blah blah blah. Legal stuff out of the way. Thank you, Joe Cartoon of Somerville. Ultimately, why did you start playing the Pilot's Life to begin with?
Why or when? Or a little both?
Well, both, ultimately.
Christ. What was it, 2012 at least? I think it was 2012. So
you started in 2012. I would, from my recollection, I would say that's probably correct.
It was like 6 months, maybe 7 months after you started.
I think it was probably 6 months or so. Because my form, actually, you know what we can do right now? We can check your form.
I don't know if I made one during that time, though.
No, I made mine 2 or 3 months after my initial account.
Right.
And I don't know if you did, or if you did years later.
I don't even have access to my form anymore. I don't even know the passwords or anything.
Well, I can fix that for you. Is it still BiggiePhil?
Should be.
All right. Yeah. BiggiePhil. His date was registered. Oh my God! You're actually a week or two almost. You're about away from your 8th anniversary. You created this account on December 26, 2011 at 4:33 a.m. But that's the server time, so I don't want to do the math in my head right now. Hell, it even tells us our old IP. That's creepy.
That is creepy.
I know your login's your email, the one you currently use. I'm not going to say it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I will actually we'll do a live password reset on air. Fuck it. Account settings, choose password, and this is your new password. Beep! No, I'm just kidding. I will text it to you. I will text it to you. Obviously. But why? But so obviously I'm assuming I had a substantial part in you first playing, because you just saw my lazy ass sitting around playing, flying, and you were not doing much. I mean, I'm not going to do the math, but how old were you? 8 years ago, so you were
from 23 now.
Yeah, so you were 13?
14?
13, 14, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
maybe 14, 15, something like that.
Now, isn't it like crazy that you've spent that long of your life? You know, now that you're about to be 23, almost 10 years. Do you ever think
Where'd the
about
time go?
Well, I mean, do you think about that?
Well, the time went quite often.
Yeah, what kept you here? What kept you in the server?
I mean, it never died. So I don't know.
Well, I
Come
mean,
back
that's
and play.
debatable. Many will say it died many times. Or
But
technically, like right now, people say, I guess currently it died like last year's Xmas events, and like I don't fucking remember ever having a public announcement of that or anything.
right.
And it never went down, and it's been known. I mean, that era is known as the Dark Ages for a reason.
I think a lot of it has to do with people just going back to school and forgetting about it.
Well, that too.
It's not real life. I'm going to
But what
continue my life.
I mean, I also think it might have been more Aaron and not getting the bugs fixed, and Hayes not getting the bugs fixed.
It was money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's all they cared about towards the end.
Well, who? Hayden?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're not gonna talk too bad about him
Cut
yet.
that out.
No, because he hasn't confirmed a request. He hasn't confirmed or denied. He hasn't got back to me yet to be a guest on this program. He was the first person I actually ever interviewed in my life back in like 2015 or 16 when we first started the Pilot's Life Radio, and I was a DJ. And he liked my work. And I brought that up, but he still hasn't got back to me. I mean, you might not have seen it. Find it hard to believe that you haven't checked your Instagram or emails in 5 days. But I also do the same thing, so I can believe that at the same token. So you played quite substantially early on. What would you, from 2011, as we just determined, to probably, when did you say you took your first major break?
Oh, God. Oh, major break. Shit.
14, 15? Well, 2000.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 15, 16.
2015.
Then I ended up moving, so I wasn't playing at all.
Which we'll get into. What can you remember about from 2012 to 2015 to when you moved? Tell me about that period. Because as you know, in 2013 when fucking Steve died, I went AFK. I didn't really play, and I didn't come back until around 2000, the end of 14 or the middle of 14. I forget.
Right.
So tell me what you remember about that year, that period, because I don't really know much. And people tell me that year, particularly 2012,
might have been the
13,
best.
14. Yes, but I don't know. I remember 2000, like 11. Well, yeah, that might have been the best. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Shit, because when I came back, the very beginning, when I was like 2012-ish, before Steve died, our father died in the middle of 2013 in May, for everybody, for chronological purposes.
I thought it was 12.
Was it 12? Oh, shit.
I have to ask Mom every year. I'm like, is it what year?
Oh, shit. Here's Papa's card. Where's his fucking card? Oh, yeah, I'll just look at his just look at his death certificate. Hold on, I have it right here. Oh, yeah, so
It was 2012, right?
I have to find it. Hold on. It's in its own folder. It is to anybody who hasn't seen a United States death certificate, I don't know if they're state by state, and if you live in a foreign country, if they're different, but it's essentially the coolest looking fucking car title you will ever. Yeah, okay, let's read it. Why not? Because you get 4 copies, and ours is from the state of New Hampshire, because I live in Massachusetts, but my dad died on a beach. And Philip was there, and I'm going to ask him about that later. He died on date of death. Oh, shit, no, we were both wrong.
14.
Yeah. Atherosclerotic heart disease.
AKA heart attack.
AKA having a splint, yeah.
So you gotta take care of yourself young.
Yes, and
that's very important.
Yes.
Drink as much coffee a day as you can.
That we can't anything that any medical or advice, professional or health wise,
not approved by the FDA.
That is not that we say needs to be consulted by your physician before you enact or think about doing any of the principles that have been laid out in those. So back to the original question here, kiddo, because you seem like you're dodging me for some reason. Are you afraid? No, I'm just fucking with you.
What?
Or you just really forget, like, what was 2013-14 like for you, child's life?
I mean, there was times where there'd be 100 people on at a time. You couldn't get on.
Well, I remember those days.
That too, yeah.
I remember those days before and after. That's the thing.
That's hard to recollect. I've done a lot of drugs. I forget a lot of things.
I mean, you want me to cut that bit out?
What, drug part?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, then I won't.
It's up to you. I don't care. It's funny.
All right. Tell us about the time you were almost an admin.
Yeah, no, I was recommended by just about everyone at H-On. I'm pretty sure Cersei did too.
Do you want me to actually read you the?
Well, I was sent screenshots of it, so I know what was said, but it's been a long time. The only thing I don't remember is that Skype ever even happening or existing. Either that or it was, I don't know. Someone didn't like that I was going to become junior mod and jeopardize it. I don't know. Could be a multiple, number of things.
Did you ever think about quitting after that?
Not really. It was either going to happen or it wasn't going to happen.
All right, good. I mean, because I thought you were salty, and I still sometimes think you're a little salty about it. Did you feel a little
bit, but still?
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, now that adds me to the next question. How did that make you feel when I got it and you didn't?
I guess kind of expected. You did play a lot more than I did towards the end.
And I was also running the radio.
Yeah, and doing the DJ and all that.
I mean, as being the younger brother of now of a head admin, do you feel like you get any special privileges or treatment?
I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, well, yes, and well, probably more no than yes. Depends.
Pretty much, you're correct. Yeah, I would ban your ass in a fucking heartbeat.
I was gonna say if I came on McLeo Surfly, I'd get banned.
Now that we don't live on the same IP, yeah.
Right. See, mine's on static, so it doesn't change.
Okay, so next question I guess to ask you, as you mentioned and implied earlier, in 2016, 17, you did go inactive, and you really just recently came back. And you only recently came back because I had to download TeamViewer and manually drag and drop a clean copy of GTA3.img that I made sure to make a copy of and leave outside of the main folder just before you moved away on that laptop. So when you modded it and fucked it up, you could just do it yourself. So tell us about moving away.
Cleo broke it. What about it? From start to now, or what?
No, well, how is it in New York compared to Massachusetts?
It's colder. It is colder.
That's the best you got, kid?
I mean, there's more day-to-day shootings in the city.
Well, no shit. I know there's too much personal information behind that question, I guess.
Depends.
And I was hoping I was seeing where that would get us. But I guess it didn't get us really anywhere. You and I love her, so yeah. So you're coming down. You're coming down to Massachusetts in
Monday.
4 days.
Yes.
And we will do something in person. We'll probably get cocked and
if he decides to grow up and come down.
No, he will. He's
like, oh, I'm not sure because the parking ban, blah, blah, blah.
No, we'll do something. There's a parking ban, but nobody's getting towed yet.
Right.
So we'll make sure to party and put up some content. So anything you're looking forward to doing when you're in Massachusetts?
Probably seeing old friends I haven't seen in years. Trying different type shit. I don't know.
God, you went into this really unprepared, huh?
I did.
That's okay. I mean, I put this whole list of questions and things together in like 35 minutes last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
But what people will probably very few will know was Philip was a fat motherfucking piece of shit. This man was a lard ass, and I'm not fat shaming him because he can attest I was the exact same thing, and I put the effort in, and he put the effort in too. So how did you do that, kid? I mean, was it just energy drinks and working out and gym
A
stuff?
lot of it. Most of it was fucking, just eating right.
Would you like to,
Watching your intake, blah, blah, blah.
would you like to define about that? I mean, how many energy drinks a day are you at? I mean, what's your caffeine content?
In the last few days, it haven't been a lot, but sometimes it's like 4 to 6 coffees a day.
It's a lot of coffee.
It is. My chest hurts.
I do feel like it does take a certain amount of stupidity or courage to move away at the age that you did.
A little bit of both.
I mean, do you regret it?
No, I mean, I've had some interesting life experiences up here.
You hesitated.
Opportunities.
You hesitated, and you had to think about it. So there's
I did
been
actually,
some, yeah. So you definitely, the initial answer might have been yes, or maybe.
I mean, I don't know if I would have my license down there. I mean, by now I hope I would have, but
Oh no,
it's
yeah,
getting fairly
you
quick
would
up
have. We would have forced you
Well,
because I mean, as you know, with that fucking Volkswagen and your Dieselgate cheating emission scandals that you buy. All right, so this kid, this kid comes to me almost every day, and I don't mind it. You know, when your dad dies and you have a younger brother and an older brother who I don't know if I'll discuss much because like it's yeah. I don't know if he fits into like any realm of entertainment into this world. Comes to you and they're still like mentally broken a little bit. Sure, whatever. Phil's young. He's still going to need life advice, things that the father figure. I mean, I ultimately hate to admit and don't usually cop to it, but I do play father figure sometimes and like head of household to even my mom. I still run our house and it's been almost 6 years now. And this kid, for every question about an automobile, a computer, a piece of technology, he comes to me. But he decides to just go lease a Volkswagen, not say a fucking word, and then tells me about it. I mean, you think that was the smartest decision that you've made?
I mean, it's been solid for at least a year and a half now.
Yeah, I don't have too many quarrels with it.
A year in September. Knock on wood, I got lucky with it, but
I mean, I really like it most because it's got the 5-cylinder.
It's so weird. It's starting to whine. I don't know why it's whining. Pulleys, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, timing belt, maybe bearings. Yeah, you set it off.
It's a chain.
Oh, really?
I believe so. Yeah, I'd have to Google it again, but I'm pretty sure it's a timing chain.
Then could be some belts or something. It could be a bunch of shit.
I think it's the main. It's one of the belts. When I accelerate, it starts to get louder. But other days, it goes away. It's weird. Tension, maybe being cold belts. I don't know.
Well, did it just started happening in the winter?
Yeah, like
then
2 weeks. I think I told you what, Sunday night or Saturday night it happened.
Then it's
Saturday.
Yeah, then it's probably just a loose belt. So
I don't want to touch it. I'm just gonna let it break down.
So everybody knows, vaping is what it is. It's a bunch of words I can't say without offending a bunch of communities. But I don't personally feel that way or have that opinion. But that's what the internet says.
Right.
And we discussed vaping with Gage and
Douche
last time.
Which now they both vape.
Yes, and
they're welcome. You guys are welcome.
Yeah. So, I mean, how long have you been vaping?
Since I was a couple days before my 18th birthday, so almost 4 years.
Now, I swear to fucking God, I will beat the living shit out of you and my other brother. When we get lung cancer and shit, and you guys are like, well, if I didn't see Pat smoking cigarettes first, I wouldn't have picked it up. If you try to pull that shit, I will beat you into cancer.
No, because I went ahead and smoked cigarettes on my own for a little while up here.
That's what I was telling Pat.
That's my own fault.
Me and Patty had this talk a few days ago. She's like, you know what? I bet you that if you never smoked, Philip would never have gotten to vaping. I was like, I don't know, Patty. Philip woke up one day and decided to vape. I never vaped before that, and I was anti-vape for a very long time.
Fucking antifreeze and abuse parts.
Yeah. But what people don't know is you've made a career so far of working at vape stores.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Quite a few years.
Tell me some crazy stories about some customers, some things you've seen.
Well, there's two stores. There's two different, sides to the store.
Well, of course.
That was shit. Those
Actually,
checks would bounce. Those owners are horrible.
yeah,
Will remain unnamed.
for legal reasons, we will name the locations of both stores and where the events occurred. We'll leave those unnamed.
Yeah.
How's that? So give me some shit.
Oh, God. The one down there, the checks would always bounce. Fucking orders were wrong.
That's just bad.
Shitty.
That's just bad ownership. That's
Very
not
bad.
that's not stories about crazy things you saw and customers and stuff.
Nothing
crazy.
Nothing happens down there. Up here, no, nothing too crazy.
Shit.
I mean, you'd get a couple of crackheads, but they were just kind of fiending for free shit. It's like, no, you gotta go away. We don't have free shit for you. We don't take this $10 and give me that bottle of juice. No, I can't do that, sir. You know
that. So that you've had more incidents up there.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's a strip club right next door.
Have you been into it?
I haven't. I hear it's really dirty, but you can pay the women to fuck in the back. That's what I hear.
Have you explored that?
A shed. I've seen the shed, and I've seen like the half-naked women in there. So I don't know if that's true or not.
Can you confirm this? Well, if hypothetically you were a source and I was to ask you that, could you confirm or deny that?
Word to mouth, probably a 50-50, maybe more so yes and no, so maybe like a 70-30.
Yeah, I don't think you fully understood like the English of that question. I was pretty much asking you to confirm that you've gone there, paid for sex with these strippers at this hotel room. I mean, this shed, not
they're really dirty. They are dirty strippers. My buddy's mom actually strips there.
Is she good?
I've never seen her, but he was telling me. He's like, oh, my mom's a stripper over there. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to have to go see.
I really, really hope he said, oh, yeah, my mom's a stripper there. She's hot as hell.
I mean, if she's a stripper, then probably.
Wouldn't that be weird, though, you know? Walking into a strip club.
Like, hey, man, let's go see your mom tonight.
You got like a rock hard. You're ready to blow. And then you look up. You're ready. You know, you might have a trench coat. You might have doing a little
public masturbation trench coat.
You might be doing a little thigh rubbing, a little fingers down the pants, and then you get a good look, and it's your mom. I mean, do you just draw? Can you ask him that for me? Can you ask him if he's ever had masturbated to his mother?
Because he was working at 7-Eleven. Then he got fired. Then went to Dairy Queen. But now he's coming back to 7-Eleven this week when I'm down there. So when I come back, I'm gonna have to ask him. Yes,
tell me about 7-Eleven. That I can imagine is where you see.
I did it for like 2 years.
That's where I can imagine you see the most shit.
Yeah. There's a deaf Jesus guy who comes in, tries to buy alcohol when you can't.
Just don't name the location, the city. He's deaf?
Yes, he's deaf and has hair like you, literally. He's like deaf Jesus.
And why can't he buy booze?
You can only legally sell it from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Oh, he comes in at odd hours.
Yeah, say you go to the state.
Yeah.
Next door, it's 8 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
It's all separate, yeah.
That is
New Amsterdam.
So, right now you're currently at the vape store. Are you still working at that other job?
Yeah.
All right, that's
more so the other one, the vape shop, but I hate the fucking vape shop.
Yeah, and how's that going for you, the new one? I don't want to give them free publicity.
Right, I'm not going to mention it or anything, but it's all right.
We're not going to mention its Polaroid cameras.
There's a whole room of those.
We're not going to mention its Polaroid cameras, and they fucking unbelievably charge $300 and what did he say, $50 or $75 for a tour of the facility.
Yeah.
I mean,
he could have just came to me and I could have driven him around the place inside for free.
Well, that's what we're doing. He's going on the tour.
Right.
Well, maybe you can make both of that happen, actually. You think you could? You actually think you could pull it off? You think you could get one or two people to just, as like a walk-on pass?
That's, maybe.
I mean, you would have to...
They give you a badge to get in, obviously. Everything's scanned.
You would need to ask people.
Yeah.
And you'd probably... And we would have you do it in, like, February when it's closer and you have some more, repetition and repertoire.
Right.
So are you more excited to come down here or for us to come up there?
Probably you guys come down here.
That's what I figured too.
Yeah.
Our older brother and my mother, they were both like almost get teary-eyed when they're like, I'm so excited to see Philip. I'm like,
It's funny. He asked me what I wanted for Christmas last night or the other night. And I'm like, well, I don't have. I'm broke, so I'm not buying you guys anything. He's like, well, you coming down's enough. I'm like, oh, okay.
well, Patty's like, well, what are you getting your brother? I was like, well, yeah, that's exactly what I said. She goes, well, you have to get him something. I got him a $10 gift card. I was like, well, he hasn't gotten me one. We just don't. Homie don't play that. Me and
Right.
both homies don't play that.
Granted, I'll receive gifts by the other family all day, but I'm not going to give anything.
Me too. Anytime. From anybody. I'm still waiting for my Secret Santa gift from our other Discord with some of our admins. Some of us will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I should have got in on that.
Yeah, I got on at the last second. And to be completely fair, that's probably the most I'll spend on anybody this like fucking Christmas was like $30 just to get.
Even that's like too much for me.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, I've already spent like $25 on one thing for her. I'm not even done yet. Like, what the fuck? I'm thinking she goes buy me this fucking $400 watch, and I'm like, oh, I can't match that for Christmas.
So you went to the beach one day in the middle of 2013 or 14, and something happened. Would you like to actually tell that story? Because I've never asked you for that story, and if you don't feel comfortable with it, you don't have to. But I've never asked you for your side of that day, as far as I can tell.
I was gonna say, I'm sure Patty's is more dramatic than what actually happened. It could be. I don't know. I've never heard Patty's story, even though I was there. But
exactly, that's why I'm asking the questions. It's completely up to you. I have it circled with a little funny logo that I don't really know what symbol it is that I marked off as a semi-possible question that he might flake out or might not want to do.
Right. No, it's bad. I mean, I've told it a few times up here. Well, okay.
If you told it up there, you haven't told it to me.
Well, people ask, they're like, "Oh, how did he die?" Well. No, it was something, not something you'd probably expect to see every day. Yeah, I don't know. We were playing catch, and then he sat down, fucking fell over in the chair, and that was it. He was gone.
And then what happened?
Some ladies came over and called 911. They came back. I'm trying to revive the dude. It's like, it's not gonna work. Well, you can try.
And what were you thinking when this was happening? Watching all these people. Nothing, probably, or just shock.
Probably nothing. I mean, I drove better than I ever drove in my life at one time.
Well, I was going to get to that next. Okay, so then once the EMTs get there, what happens? They take them off the beach and then drive them to Portsmouth, I believe, right?
Yeah, Patty made me drive.
Yes, and at the time you were what, like 17, I think, or 16.
I just got my learner's permit when I turned 16, so I was still on my permit.
No, I don't think you had your permit.
I did. I think I did, because I drove home too.
I'm pretty sure you didn't, because
when I turned 16, remember the day after I went to get it, somehow I passed.
I remember me and Patty talking about how good of a job you driven illegally for some reason.
I do that often.
So then you had to go from there. So that was really the first time you've ever really driven a car too. In relative, Maybe
in that type of traffic. Those 4 fucking Portsmouth lanes.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Now it's not, but it's terrible. You go to Philly, it's almost fucking a 5-lane highway.
It's like that now in Boston. You'll see when you come out of Logan.
Thank God I'm not driving up again.
Yeah. All right, so now to review. So you drive to Portsmouth, and then what happens at Portsmouth?
You go, I think it was the emergency entrance, but a not emergency entrance.
Yeah, like the ambulance emergency entrance.
Yeah. Okay. What happened? Well, yeah, I went to a room, the doctor came out, I was like, oh yeah, he didn't, from what I remember him saying, I think he said he didn't make it, which was kind of expected. Well,
of course, yeah. I mean, and then what did you think? Oh, fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any emotion towards it. I still don't to this day, but I don't know if that's because I'm so cold inside. I don't know.
I wonder that myself, too, because I'm
dead inside.
Because I'm pretty comfortable with it, too. That's the thing. Yeah, because I just bought a VHS to PC, via USB recorder. And
thing's fucking sweet.
Yeah, those mini VHS tapes. I found the adapter and I oiled that, serviced it, got it running, and can convert that. As soon as I told Patty and Peter about it, they both were like, "Wouldn't it be amazing if we could just hear him again?" And I said, "Hold on, give me 10 minutes."
I'll show you too.
Oh, yep, and I gave them a 3-minute clip of exactly what they wanted, and I got them both to cry. And
Really?
yeah, and now they want me to convert all of these, and I think the runtime's only like a half an hour, but there's like 30 or 40 of them, and I'll do some
A lot of tapes.
Yeah, I'll probably do it because I have 20 blank DVDs that with no intentions of ever using, and I think I can fit most of them on them, and I might just do that and call that a Christmas gift for Patty.
Yeah, she'll probably like that.
Yeah, she will. It's just going to take a lot of time. And it's kind of disappointing since like everything that's labeled is 88 through 90. So I don't know. There's only one tape that says Patrick on it, and it looks like I wrote it. So I don't know if like it even is.
Looks like I wrote it.
Yeah,
88 to 90. Damn, I wasn't even an idea at that point.
No, this is Pete. This is all Pete's first. Pete's first everything.
Bitch.
Yeah, that's cool. I was telling Nana about that, and yesterday actually, I was like, Mary, what do you remember about the year between the years 1988 to 1990? Because I don't know. God damn. I was like, oh my god. She goes,
so fucking rude.
I was like, well, 88 was when Peter was born. What do you remember about that? He goes, that kid was such a crybaby.
I heard that a lot.
Yeah, that's what everybody gets.
You're such a crybaby. All kids crybabies.
Yeah, I mean, do you plan on having kids?
Not now.
So you do plan on having kids?
I don't want more than one.
And
I don't want any right now, but I don't want more than one.
And you think she's the woman for kids with you?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
It's not a pretty much situation.
Doesn't get any better than this.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, that's good then. We have to get her to come back down. We'll talk off air a little bit.
If I drove and got a hotel.
No, we'll talk off air about it. I think she can reconsider. I think she would.
Not with that thing.
I think she would.
You already said no multiple times.
I don't know. I think I can talk to her.
Try.
I think I can get her. She loves me. Who doesn't? So back to get on General Pilot's life stuff for a little while before we revert. What do you still play?
Why do I still play?
Well, that's what I asked. Yeah.
Why not? I gotta fill my free time with something. Might as well learn how to my aviation license. Fly planes. But as soon as I hop into a real life Hydra, I'll know how to fly it. It'll be great.
Okay, I purposely paused there just to see what answers you keep spitting out.
I was gonna keep going with it.
and like, I'm glad to know like that worked, because now to get a little inside radio stuff, I'm pretty much just stealing techniques and things from everybody I've ever loved and listened to my whole life on talk radio and podcast, and making my own.
I kind of got.
Yeah, you can get some of the anger. Yeah, you can get some of the anger of certain people. Yeah.
Now I know how to fly inverted under fucking bridges and shit. I can do it.
I mean, we're still trying to get Saucy. Yeah, he keeps ducking me.
He talks to me. I'm just gonna be like, yo.
No, he talks. Just when I ask him about the podcast, he doesn't answer.
Maybe because he's really like a 90-year-old dude.
Well,
he's that old. Because Chong is like 40.
Wait, how old has he told you? What did you say? You broke up the last bit before Chong. We got the Chong bit, but what did you say about Source?
He never told me how old he was. From my understanding, at least 40s, at least.
We just want, like, we don't even want to, like, know about his life too much and stuff. We just really want to ask him about his role in the server and how he's managed to keep the anonymity for so long.
He's very anonymous by himself.
Maybe he's like the starter of Anonymous. Maybe he's actually me. Yeah, maybe he actually made 4chan or something. No,
Maybe it's just Kim.com. Really, just searching Kim.
I think we would have. Well, I mean, I don't know if there was that time he went. I'll have to check if that time he resigned for admin for a little while lines up when that time Kim.com was in prison.
What if he really?
That would be that'd be amazing. No, what we talk, my what would like what I talked about in the first episode with Ryan, and I guess I think it would be probably the most funniest probably of anybody else, but if he came on and his voice was that of Gilbert Gottfried's, that would just make my day. I would like I said, I would need to get fucking the benzocaine premature ejaculation Trojans just to be able to do that interview. Just because my life would be made. Sorcy, I need you. We need you. Chong's committed. I'm gonna have him on soon. So, but Chong's doing amazing stuff. Not to plug him.
No, it really is. I've seen some of the shit he's doing with his job. It's insane. Some of the mold.
Are you in his Discord?
No, I have him on.
All right, I'll invite you just because it's great for the pictures, man.
Yeah, no, he does a lot of cool shit.
He's got a orchestra set up right now, and when I have him on, of course I'm going to make him going to detail about it. Hell, maybe I'll ask him if he can make a quick MIDI theme for us or something.
All right.
But he's got it's like 30 or 32 or 6 floppy drives and hard drive platters, all Arduino controlled and timed. And Sean, I'm terribly sorry if any of this is wrong, because you are from my level, like a genius level, like, Ben Heck, obviously, the console modder.
Yeah.
You know who else has been making incredible Nintendo NES toasters too? Chong McFucking Bong, and they're like on par and with some of the best I've ever seen. What fucked with me the most was when he sent me the links to the ones he was making. I had no clue that those were Chong's, but I saw them years before on like the best of console mods.
I think he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, he's a good guy, so that'll be a good conversation.
That might be like a 4-hour interview.
No.
I feel like he would just keep talking. He could. I mean, he knows a lot of shit.
Speaking of players, who do you think you hate the most in the admin player community? Well, which admin do you
players
dislike?
Or admin?
Both. Who do you dislike the most and like the best?
No one's really rubbed me the wrong way except Naldo. We'll get into that another time. He's a little
because I'm gonna have him on
baby
too.
Bitch.
Well, okay, you'll have to tell me that off air, and I'll have to bring that up with him then, because I'm booking pretty much everybody I can.
You should get Carlos on. He'll probably come on.
I haven't asked him yet.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he is chill.
Favorite player? I don't know. It's tough.
I mean, who's your favorite admin then?
I mean, of course it'd be you, but...
Well, no, that's bias, and that doesn't count.
Well, if I don't say it's Crystal, he's going to tell me I can't get junior mods, so maybe...
No, you wouldn't, because then I would call him out for being impartial and a hypocritical server owner.
He's alright. Is Ryan still an admin? No.
No.
Damn. Santiago's okay. God, I don't even know who else. Eddie, if he came back...
I'm trying to get him.
Or Trong or Eddie in the middle.
Alright, so we'll just say Sorcy then. What would you think the dumbest thing you've ever done in your life has been so far, Phil?
I've done a lot of dumb things in the last 3 years alone in my life.
Would you like to imply on any of them? Without self-incriminating yourself, obviously.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
I mean, tell me stories that your friends have done.
My friends, well, my God, some get slosh and just drive. Or like, be drunk at a party and then decide to drive and go to like Denny's at 4 in. God,
those are bad friends. Those friends should not be doing things like that. If I was the brother of those type of friends, I would discipline them.
Smoke a blunt and then drink and then go drive and go to Denny's.
Good thing you don't do that, and good thing you're telling stories about your friends. Yes, that is terrible.
Jesus I can tell an actual story that actually happened to my actual friend.
Oh, about the Buick. Yeah, do it.
Yes. So he's about 20 years old. I think he's 21 now.
Just don't name him.
No. So his dad ended up getting him I think it was a 2012 Buick Regal, the turbo. One night he was drinking and driving, going too fast. He told me he looked at his phone for like 2 seconds. And then he flipped his fucking Buick, he totaled it into the city's fence and broke an entire fucking tree with it. It was like leaning up against the tree. He's lucky he didn't die.
And ladies and gentlemen, when he says tree, because I've seen the
full-on fucking forest tree.
Yes, I've seen pictures. This tree is easily
usually 20 feet tall at least.
Easily 20 feet tall and closer within that 1.5 to 2 foot thick, wide range. Like, this was not a small tree. Also, looking at the pictures of the car, the fact that this kid didn't he walk away with like a scrape and a bruise?
Yeah, because he was drunk. He blew like triple the legal limit up here, which is insane.
Yeah, from the photo, these are the photos you see in the news when you see, like, they're usually only associated with feel-good stories or dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either, tragic car accident, car mangles, Ford F-350 runs over small Honda Civic with pregnant woman with child in the back. Both walk away uninjured. It's like it was that type of wreckage, or like 7 dead in this family. It was that bad. Like, there's no fucking. This Buick was almost cut in half.
No, it was really bad. I don't know how he made it alive. But he was having some problems, prescription medication, blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's how you get off the court system, sure.
Shitty girlfriends.
Yeah, that's no excuse for drinking.
Decided to move to North Carolina.
It's no excuse for drinking and driving, and
it was a norm for him, though. That's the thing.
It still doesn't make it acceptable, Phil.
One time you look at your phone, you fucking wreck your car.
well, actually, now that we're in Massachusetts. Oh yes, I'm sorry to break some news to you too. You might have some problems like with some of your plans because Patty's car is like a piece of shit and it can't really go super far.
Right.
So like you might not be able to go see your buddy out in air or something.
Jose might pick me up. I hope he picks me up. He should pick me up.
Jose's in air?
No, he's in Derry. I think he moved.
Oh yeah, Derry's fine. Yeah. But we also I think we just passed the new no hands like at all, like complete hands-free cell phone law.
Even if you get caught with it out, you fucking get a ticket.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just kind of look down occasionally, come back up, look down.
Yeah, did you hear that we are banning pretty much all flavored juice except at like just stores, and no more menthol cigarettes in mass starting like the beginning of next year, and like no more Newports, man.
Yeah, they're gonna lose a lot of money. I don't know how it's gonna work out very well for them.
Well, I'm just gonna start selling them on Facebook. No, I'm just kidding.
Yo, is this tax stamp real?
No, just go to New Hampshire.
That's right. Everyone forgets they can just go 2 minutes down the road.
They do.
I think it's such a big deal. They don't want to drive an extra. It's like, what, 5 minutes from the house, if that, maybe 10 at most.
And then they go eBay online for pizza money on their GoFundMe. I love those people.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe just so I can have some money.
Then I will call you probably a piece of shit.
GoFundMe, guys.
Because you are like fully capable of and able to work, so.
At the moment, no, but yeah, in a couple days.
Why? Because you got a little cold?
No, my fucking laceration.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so tell us your story about this kid. He just actually got out of the hospital for, I don't even, it must have been 2 or 3 weeks. They were pretty sure he was going to lose his arm from like the mid forearm down because this injury got so bad. Tell us about it.
Oh man, there was red infection.
There was MRSA signs everywhere. Oh my God!
Open sores coming out of nowhere. My elbow was exposed. I don't know.
I almost had to fly up there to sign the
plug.
The healthcare proxy.
Yeah,
and take control of this. And I would have had to overcharge my credit card for the cost because He waited too long. Tell us about it, man.
It was bad. It was bad. I don't know. I couldn't move it for like 7 days. I figured maybe that time I should go to the doctors.
Well, how big
Said I
do they
got
say?
lucky. I don't know.
How big do they say the scar is going to be?
I think you said 8 to 10 inches in length.
Okay. In all reality, how many stitches did it require to fix this laceration? No joking.
I think you said closer to 60, 65.
No joking. Tell us what happened. We need to know the story of how you injured yourself this bad. Tell me. Tell us the real story.
Oh, I don't know. It was terrible, man. I was trying to put a new hole in my belt because I lost like 100 pounds this last year. And then, the knife, just the locking mechanism didn't work very well, and it sliced and diced.
And it required 4 stitches.
Yes.
And yes. And you guys know what the beautiful part is. Since this injury happened a couple days ago, the stitches will need to the stitches will need to be removed when he's still in Massachusetts at my house, and he doesn't trust my older brother to do them, so I get to remove them.
Either that or I'll just go to the walk-in, but one of the two.
No, I mean, who are you going to trust more, me or the walk-in? I've done it once.
Well, these are the thing. They're like closed into the wound.
Yeah, you pull up, and you pull up on the knot. You rip the skin out, and then you slice under the thing, and then you pull it out through your skin. It stings a little bit.
I was gonna say, it sounds like such a weird feeling, pulling thread through skin.
It really doesn't hurt. It's just uncomfortable.
Getting them done didn't hurt.
It burns.
The only thing that hurt was
it kind of burns. It kind of burns if you get me.
Right. It's like inside rug burn.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh man.
I'll have to go to the forum and post pictures of it.
Let's do it on the Discord.
So many fucking chats for those servers, ridiculous.
Well, I mean, yeah, this one I just rebranded from our failed project that we still might do. We discussed earlier.
General, off-topic, media, motorsports, aviation.
Yeah, I'm thinking about adding. Shit, I forgot what I was calling it. A new channel, obviously, guys, on the Discord. But the day I was just going to go auto do it by myself, and then we rearranged and organized all of the channels, and somebody asked about making a new channel, and we were all like, oh no, we have enough already. So it's like, okay, I probably wouldn't. I think it was like mental health wellness or like mental wellness channel or something.
We have enough.
Because like if you all of us are crazy, and if we have pretty much just making a I hate to use the word, but a legitimate safe space, right, where I would have to fucking vet the administrators and who can actually speak and the ruling of it and blah blah blah. But I think it might be beneficial. Everybody I've asked so far has given me good feedback about it.
Make another one, yeah.
I mean, so how was growing up with me? I mean, you got any regrets? Did I do anything terrible to you? I don't know that you still like hold against me.
No, it's more so what I didn't do for you.
Like what?
I remember it, but I don't. Bringing that ladder so you could come down from the crawl space.
Oh. I
think about that a lot.
Dude, Philip, I'm pretty sure I told Peter.
I think you did tell Peter. I don't know.
So why would I?
One of the two. I don't know if it was me or Pete.
It was probably
was being a dick.
It was probably both of you. Okay, for you that don't know,
that's where it all started.
This must have been in the 2001, 2?
Yeah, God, at least. Yeah.
No, maybe even before. It might have even been in the late 90s.
No, I don't think I remember anything from 99.
No, you couldn't. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. It must have been like 1 or 2. We were living on the other side of town. South side! And yep. And it was a decent little house. But on the second floor, yeah, there was 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, full bathroom. And that's where the master was, but there wasn't a lot of like closet space. so there was cubby holes in the ceiling, and if you don't know what a cubby hole is, it's pretty much just a hole in the wall that's high up where you can store shit. And I would usually get a ladder and like to hang out there and shit and just like read books or play my Game Boy Color with my plug-in Game Boy Light. And I got up there one day and I'm just hanging up there, and these fucking kids decided it would be funny to just remove the ladder. And now that like I look back at it, I'm pretty sure I've been suffering from general like GAD, like you do, general anxiety and
Right.
depression my whole life, because I fucking had a panic attack and like couldn't wait in there. I waited like 15, 20 minutes, it seemed. I waited a while for somebody to come back and tried to jump down. But when I jumped down, I kind of like I landed on like a piece of fabric. So my right foot went out as soon as I landed, and landed on my right wrist and fractured it, broke it, and fucking spent a month in a cast. All because these guys didn't bring them the ladder back. But I feel like it's a fair trade-off for that time years later, where Peter decided to pull a stupid prank on me and ended up stepping in
Oh yeah,
4 cups of boiling water and getting a second-degree burn and having half the time,
right.
wrapped up. Yeah, he had 2 weeks in bandages and then he was fine. I had fucking a month, and then I had to go to rehab for another month. So that was I feel like that was a fair trade back. Well, I didn't know you felt bad for that.
Sometimes.
Anything else?
That I can remember, no.
Okay.
A long time.
Good. I mean, I feel bad for all the name calling.
Yeah, that happened.
But
Brother.
Baby beluga in the deep blue sea.
Copy that from you guys. I'm just gonna punch you in the face one of these days.
What?
She copied that from you guys. I'm gonna punch you in the face one of these days.
No, you're not.
But if I say that to her, it's wrong. You can't say it to me, blah blah blah. It's a two-way street.
No, you can't punch a chick.
Yeah.
No, you can't. It's unacceptable. I will, like, if I ever found out you did that, I would stop speaking to you. So no, I'm not even fucking around. I don't put up with that. Like ELP says, something. Every woman being rapist is firmly in their tomb. Do you know what happened in the winter of 2007? You don't. You have no clue. Well, you.
Oh, the Pyrex Bowl.
No.
Oh. That's another thing?
Yes. You got a trophy. You got a trophy in 2007. You don't remember what it's for?
No.
I'm looking at it right now. I have it. Baseball? It's for a 100-point increase on the map testing. So that 1 year you went to school and took a test, it must have been the 3rd grade or something. No, never mind. I forget about the SCS years. So it's one of those years. So you can take that back if you want. I like just looking at it.
Forget about all that.
I don't, my man. I mean, why did one thing that I've been wondering, actually, no, before I ask that, now, do you feel I did anything do you have anything that you, the same question I just asked, but reversed? I mean, do you feel like I've spited you?
Not really. No.
But I think I already, no, not at all.
I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but, we're older, who cares?
Like what?
I don't know.
Name them, pussy.
Depends. We've got to do a couple fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's not real. I don't know.
Could be worse.
You're just a baby. Never taken any fun. You're the DK illest biter.
DK biter. How? You're gonna go get a Volkswagen fucking GTI now. You should get a GTI.
No, I'm not.
Turbo.
I'm going to get the I think the Phaeton, I think it was, from like the mid-thousands that had the W16 in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not. That would be a waste. So what do you think about the Cybertruck then?
Well,
Isn't it the most?
one
Isn't
boss
it?
has one on pre-order. He's getting it.
Well, what trim?
I think just the basic
Oh, then that's
MS
stupid.
Paint model.
Isn't it the most beautiful vehicle designed since probably like the Countach?
It doesn't compare to the Countach. I mean, it's got square fucking diagonal triangles to it, but
It's
it's
beautiful.
got a lot of power. It does got a lot of fucking power. It went head to head with like an F-150 and beat it.
Yeah, in racing.
No, pulling it like chained to the back of each one.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah, I think they also did like a speed test with a load or something too. I also saw the video where they put them together.
It's fast.
The only thing that like really concerns me is the price. It's way too expensive, and
Isn't it like 60 grand start?
no, it's like 35.
Yeah.
But that gets you 250 miles and 0 to 60 in or 350 miles, I forget. 0 to 60 in like 6 seconds or something.
That now.
and a pretty low load capacity, but the top models, if you equip it with the auto assist, which everybody's going to, it's like almost 75,000, but that's 3 motors, and it will get you to like 0 to 60, I think, in like 2.8. And it says it can tow 14,000 or 17,000 pounds, which would be best in segment, kind of. And it will have a 500. It says 500 plus mile range, but you can tow with the Model 3 and the Model X, and people have towed with the Model X very light loads.
Like a U-Haul trailer.
Yes, and they've gotten about a third of the normal battery capacity.
Right, so, the power it's taking.
Yeah, so if you just spent $75,000 on the Cybertruck and you're like towing, something heavy, 10,000 pounds, what are you going to have to stop to recharge every like 10 minutes, every 200 miles?
Yeah.
I think they said they're getting the new charging for that one to be with under half an hour to full. Though I
feel like the alternator in those is useless.
Philip, I think the alternator is the kind of the engine in that thing. I don't know if there actually is one.
Well, it's supposed to recharge, but it really doesn't, unless it's like a reserve type of, here's 5 extra miles till you get to the charging station type deal thing.
Well, you don't know how regenerative recharging works. It uses the heat from the braking. I think it spins. I think there's something when you brake that will spin.
Yeah.
And generate a current that charges the battery.
My boss has the Model 3. That's what it was. I saw the badge. Cool.
They're not bad.
No. I was going to drive it the other day, but he's like, just take it around the parking lot. You get a feel for it first. I'm like, no. I want to fucking go 90 miles an hour in this thing.
So I know how to drive a car.
Dude, I know. It's like, dude, it's not any different. I mean, I'm sure it's different, but it's not really any different from driving a normal car. Got a gas and a brake. That's all you need.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they're just cars. They're kind of overrated.
Yeah, he's way too anal about it.
I do love the Cybertruck look, though.
Just too MS Paint triangle-ish.
Dude, it's beautiful.
I would have to see it in real life first.
I mean, have you seen the interior?
No.
It looks like they used a piece of something like a slate marble dashboard.
Really? Let me Google it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Because they're incredibly...
It's all square, though, and like angly.
But that's what I like. That's why, dude, I'm a Subaru man.
It's like the most uncomfortable car ever in the world. It's probably not.
Subarus are known as the most ugliest vehicles going. You know what else I learned? You know what else I learned is
it's like a marble countertop dash.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It's got like an F1 racing steering wheel.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. We at the Pilot's Life Radio, Pilot's Life Pods, everybody are firm supporters of the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah,
but it is well known that there's sociotypes my whole life that lesbian women are the ones who are like the prime consumers and drivers of Subarus and particularly Outbacks. But what I also recently learned within the last week was, I guess if you're a vapor, you're also probably driving a Subaru. If you're like a vape guy,
it's WRX though. If you're a vapor, that's what it is.
yeah. Because Gage told me that, and I was like, oh shit, he might be right. Because Max, Subaru, you wanted a Subaru, me had a Subaru. I was like, oh man, he might be onto something.
Well, I just want the WRX for the 300 horsepower stock and turbo, all-wheel drive for the winter.
Well, we're thinking about doing a weekly show called CCC Cars, or CCCC, Cars, Cygnus, Crystal, and Coffee, or something like that. So maybe we'll have you be a guest.
Yeah.
Because, cars, we're just car guys. We need more content.
Talk about my shitty Volkswagen.
You're reading a shitty book?
Talk about my shitty Volkswagen.
When was the last time you read a book, Phil?
It's been a long time. No, maybe like over a year. I read it. I almost read all of it.
So you read like 50 pages?
A little more than that. I want to get Snowden's book, though. It really seems interesting to read.
Did you watch him on Rogan?
Yes, I did.
Well, I think he pretty much explains the whole book.
He does, yeah. But I want to read it, though. I'm sure he leaves out a lot of information.
Well, why don't you just buy a PDF?
It's like $18 for a hardcover at Walmart.
They sell that at Walmart?
Yeah.
Wow.
They really do. I know. Yeah, they do.
Walmart.com or if it's in person?
I'm pretty sure both. Well, I've seen it on .com.
Yeah, no, that's different. We'll have PL Book Club before we know it.
We should. Yeah, free pickup. I can go get it right now.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Should go buy it.
You should.
After I get Christmas money and come back here, I'll pick it up.
We'll just buy it up here, and I'll read it. I'll read it and send it.
Cuddle me and wrap me in a blanket and read it to me.
Well, what we could do is just
we'll have a book reading.
No. We'll do a audiobook, and each chapter, you'll record it, and then I'll record it, and then we'll release it. So we both read it. We both read it at the same time. Genius. Well, Phil, I want you to do me for the resolution for 2020. We had a little bit of technical difference, but we were talking about Snowden's book and whatnot. But it's nothing incredible, nothing we really didn't know. He didn't drop any bombshells on the podcast, and I don't really think there would be anything too riveting in that book. Pretty much like all of the Epstein and Weinstein books that have come out in the last couple months and years. Yeah, all of these, nothing. There's been like no bombshells, even with Ronan Farrell's new one about the sex abuse in Hollywood. I guess there was really nothing that really wasn't known. I guess there was a little bit more on Matt Lauer. But like the sources are kind of iffy. I don't know. I haven't read it. But I forgot my segment, and I will have to edit this out. But at least I had a good pause. Shit, what was my segue? But a lot of people don't. Okay. But a lot of people also don't know. Me and Philip here, Biggie, we also are kind of pioneers in Pilot's life in many, many ways.
Right.
God, if there's a Mount Rushmore, we're probably there should be half of our face on like one of the statue. We don't get one each. We're not that important, but I think we get one statue. We sold the airline for the highest amount ever, dramatically by I think 3 or 4 times what an airline was ever sold for back in 2012. Yes, this was the biggest sell ever. I believe it was exactly
it was over like 300 million.
Yeah, altogether I believe it was about 280. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button.
We each got over 100.
we got about 138 each, and that was before we sold the slots and assets and didn't and didn't tell them that we were going to do that. They were under the impression that they were included.
Hey, it's not my fault they left it to me. Oh well. What happens when you leave an airline to me? Fuck yourself.
Yes.
They might be butthurt, but who cares?
I recently, as you heard, oh shit, I just pulled a calf. A few minutes earlier in this podcast, we talked about Philip not being able to get into his form, but we reset his form account, and we did find a
some butthurt people,
very disgruntled PM, and I won't name names. Well, actually, I probably will. One in particular that caught my attention from the buyers, and it was very good. And here we go. Hello, BiggiePhil. I just want to tell you something. I am not a child. You sold Delta Air at a fair price for the ST group. So now you have nothing more to do with Delta Air and its assets. Do not give me that story of screenshots now. You do not have any more rights over the Delta Air. And you really that I already have a letter ready to release on the form if you persist in claiming something went by our part. You really disappoint me in Knox or Slade. And above all, showed us little professionalism and management skills in your attitude. Bugo BR. And besides the part where I stuttered in the middle, he typed it with that many typos.
Yeah. I want to know what note he claimed he had. Oh, what was he going to say? Oh, he sold an airline on me in this game. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What do I do? Oh my god. Ooh, GTA SA game. Oh my god, I sold an airline.
Yeah, I'm gonna call the CAA because this is global, and the FAA. They stole my airline and they stole my planes.
What do I do? He sold all my shit. Got my map removed. What do I do?
I missed that base.
It's still there, kind of.
It's in the
SF still by the bridge.
Yes, it's in the admin panel for map management, but I need to find out what map that currently is called, because one of these nights when I was like 0 players, I want to go on and I might have Sourcey help me because he made it. He can probably tell me the name. And I just want to take some screenshots of it again because I loved that base.
It's a nice base.
I'm firm to still say that was probably the best mapped base in PL of like mapped bases. You know what I mean? It was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. It had access to everything. It was great location, easy to take off every plane from, like I said, beautiful gate, great parking, perfect runway for driving. The only thing it was missing was tunnels that IA has. That's it.
Yeah.
And I was very upset when they destroyed that base. But that's what happens. But I lived off of all of that money. I stopped working after we sold that airline. I had about like 3,000 or 4,000 score by that point.
So we had a lot of money.
and I only started. Now I have almost 12,000, which most of it I've put on in the last 2 years after the economy reset. I still had like 48 mil left before that reset.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm back. I have like 2 million now, most.
But as we mentioned earlier, Philip was considered to be, part of the staff and would have eventually became admin. And who knows if that would have meant that I would have became admin or not in the future of it, because I would have never. But at that time, there would have been no way that both of us would have been. But
right.
Nowadays,
but now that I moved,
Oh, now that you moved,
someone might come around and be like, "Hey, I've known this kid for a long time."
No comments.
Maybe.
No, you are more than qualified to do the job.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we did run our own server in the beginning during what year was that? 14.
I was doing both PL and the trucking. I had a flying one too. It didn't take off very well, but it took off a little bit.
No, what was the trucking one called?
I think it was just Biggies trucking.
Yes, and
I still have the script.
Yeah, we did that because we just got like pissed off with how hyper competitive Pilot's Life was becoming, and we
Yeah, that's
wanted
terrible.
we ultimately just wanted to have 300 slot houses.
It was fun.
Yeah, we didn't like never marketed it on PL or anything, and we pretty much just
No.
made it for ourselves. But yeah, so he's definitely got the qualifications, Crystal, if you're listening. But and decide that we need any more room for random admins.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Oh shit! Pause. I think this is the lawyer. And sorry for this other interruption in the middle of a conversation. I just had to get off the phone call with a lawyer, and obviously I can't share that because there's many legal implications, but it's all good for me. That's what he told me. Everything was good for me. So that's good news. What were we talking about? Oh, yes, about how you almost became an admin.
Yeah.
And I have here the actual screenshots.
Let me see it.
No. I'm not going to show them to you. I'm just going to read them to you.
Well,
It's only 3 posts. I don't have
I
any
know.
because you have never ever seen the admin section. Obviously,
I have
well, you never had access to it.
not access, but I've seen it.
And I doubt you searched why you didn't get.
I was shown why, but a long time ago.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I did. All right, so here we go. The first post by Apollo. It's a quote from John Richardson, and it's
Salty.
the quote is game text. Fill up. Hello, everyone. Hex the Rex. Okay, it's time to DDoS PL and the Pilot's Life again. Admins banned some of my friends. Let's see what we can do. Somebody posted. No, somebody smile face. Somebody left. You fill up. Yeah, Hex. Fill up. You're already DDoSing it. Fill up. Question marks. And then
that never happened. Kid was salty as fuck.
You know what? Did you ever use the username just Philip?
No. There was another kid named Philip.
Yeah.
Me, though.
Yeah, dude. Because
salty.
Because I was going through that, and I was like, I don't remember you ever just being Philip. And I remember.
I used BiggiePhil, Bigums for a while. I was never just Phil. No, there's another one.
Yeah.
I feel like John was a little salty there. He wasn't getting picked.
Well, and what he said was, never trusting Philip again, full stop. Never mind letting him be an admin. Which Apollo replied, Philip, question mark, we're talking of BiggiePhil here. Philip is another guy. The reply to that by Crystal was, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like BiggiePhil is fit for the job. He's underscored, italicized, very active, and I believe he'll do well. I've known him for a very long time. He is probably one of the few friends I actually have on the server. So, Gage, you were repping for Phil for Junior Mod on November 16th, 2012.
Yeah, it was a while ago. We should bring that back up into a discussion.
And then that post was quoted by Chong McBong.
He went for it too, I believe.
Yes, and he said, I agree. Biggie is very active and seems sensible and would probably be worth a try as a moderator. And that is the end of the discussion about that. That's it. Nothing else.
John was super salty.
That's all it took. That's all it took. Apparently, John was super jelly, quoted the wrong thing, and that ruined your shot here, kid. That's what happened.
I should bring that back up to Crystal, and he is.
No, he'll listen to this.
He will. Yeah, he will.
He will. I'm gonna do one with him soon too. We're thinking maybe a Christmas drop.
Yeah. I'll bring my laptop when I come down too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, get set up.
I mean, are you amazed, or like, what are your thoughts that the server is still going and like we're actually we're thriving and gaining more players consistently now that Gage has taken over and is fixing things?
Well, the main thing is fixing things.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie, and he knows I called him out a little bit on it. I don't really care that much, but like, we had a strict procedure on hiring administrative staff like we just discussed, one incorrect chat log message got your chance destroyed back then.
Yeah.
And Gage came on and just brought in like 4 people. But all of them are good people, and they've worked out incredibly well. So
far.
No, yeah. Plus, they're also involved for other reasons, like the CNR that's coming back, and double duty stuff. So it works out. The CNR is a good time. That should be soon. Ideally, I want to get Gageykins, and the 3 or 4 gentlemen who are, the Gamer Diamond and Jacob.
Yeah.
Who are the main 3 working on the reboot of the CNR script at the moment, and I'm working on all those bugs, and kind of have like a roundtable discussion for the introduction for when we reintroduce that. I think that would be a good idea. I'll see.
And what happened? Done. I was talking to Jacob the other night. What happened to Hayes' SA Racer server?
It just died in the wind.
I figure that's what happened. Damn, that would have been fun.
I thought that to myself I thought the same thing to myself the other day when I was going through the forums and saw that. Old screenshots, yeah.
Yeah. Should bring that back.
Well, I'm hoping he comes on. I'm hoping he replies to me.
I don't know if he will. He might.
He did it once, but he was still playing.
Right.
So without having a biased opinion, of the 3 owners, which one has been your favorite and which one has been your least favorite? Hayes, Garen, or Crystal? No favoritism.
Aaron probably shouldn't have owned it in the first place. Hayes did some nice things, but probably all in all, Crystal.
Yeah, you're just trying to sandbag for that junior mod spot.
Nah. No, because Hayes would act really anonymous and not talk to anybody, like he was better than everyone else.
Towards the end, that happened.
Yeah, which wasn't the case. Pansy. Aaron, I don't think he had any clue what he was doing for the most part.
No, he knew what he was doing. I just feel it was too much for him. It was too much work. He was living a full life, and I think he thought he could trust the admins that were in place to manage it. But once he actually got things in place and saw how many people bothered him about the game mode, about scripting, about bugs, about abuse, about this, about little things, blah, blah, blah. Topic. Yes, to the point, and then finding you on your socials, and then blowing you up on there, and so forth and so on. Mm-hmm. It was too much for him. That's what I think. And he didn't trust any of us with that access to fix those bugs, and that's what is known as the dark ages in the pilot's life.
Right.
The main difference between all of these owners is Crystal here is actually trusting some of us with access to to actually fix stuff, not just make reports about things that need to be fixed.
Right. Go on.
Yeah, and instead, in the past, we would have to wait for example, if there was like a minor pro tip text error. We would have to wait for Hayes to decide to respond to the message, then wait however long it took him to fix it, if he could. And if he couldn't, we would have to wait until he could find somebody who could. But now we can have Robin B or Crystal in a matter of minutes have that taken care of. So we definitely have a more advanced technical crew than I think we've probably ever have, and I do not give them enough props.
Right.
I mean, because how do you thank a developer or a coder? Good job for coding. It's kind of tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can really only it's tough, guys, because they'll listen to it too. It's tough to because it's really it's not like you're building a guitar or something. It's not like good job getting half of that body done today. It's kind of weird to be like, good job getting half of that script done. I feel like they don't have the same weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like accolades come with the completions. So it's the life of a scripter must be hard. I mean, that's why I gave up after HTML4.
Even a coder. It was a pain in the ass. Cleo, not Cleo. Fucking Pano's a pain in the ass.
You should see some of these guys. They're fucking great with it.
I mean, if you do it long enough, it's easier, but... I mean, it's not... most
Yeah, like I
difficult.
tell them, like when they post screenshots of all these different languages, I usually have a rough idea.
What it is.
Yes, only because I know what pulls and basic words are, and like just how code works in general and stuff. Sometimes, like entries, queries, all that shit.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us about high school? What was your favorite time in high school?
I mean, I never really went, but I still graduated somehow, some way. The high school gods were like, "We're gonna pass this kid."
U.S. listeners, isn't that magical? That's how good my mom is with stuff.
You got a diploma and that's that.
I had to do 5 years of high school and repeat and get like bullied for being a white kid. And I'm not crying, ooh, race, reverse discrimination, wow, wow, wow.
Right.
Sure, it's a
Right.
thing. But I know what it feels like firsthand to have things thrown at me simply because the groups don't like the color of my skin. And it's what it is, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I never retaliated or felt bad.
Right.
And you just got to sit around and play Pilot's Life and get a diploma. And then
How does that work out? I wonder that sometimes.
You know what? And then even better, once
I
it's
cheated on my state exams.
I didn't because I didn't need to. Since I had an IEP, I could use the calculator.
Yeah, but in order to use a calculator, you need to learn how to know how to do the problem.
That I knew how to do. You don't know So if I say,
yeah,
that's all you need. That's all you needed.
Excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
No, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. That's the only way I've ever remembered it. I've completely forgot about my dear, please, whatever.
Excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Until the last time I think I've heard that was Mr. McCarthy's class in senior year. No, algebra. I don't even know. God, sometime in high school. No, that was freshman. Yeah, him in freshman, because I had the same math teacher for my freshman and my senior year.
Right.
And he was a beautiful gentleman. I mean, he was wonderful. He was wonderful. He was a wonderful guy. When I graduated, it was also his last year. He was moving to Australia with his wife, who just like decided. I guess the story he told me, because he was very private, because he knew he was a professional. Like he knew.
Right.
She essentially was like looking for jobs online one day and found one in Australia that was completely legitimate, that was going to pay her a shitload of money and was willing to pay for them to relocate. So she took it. So I'm like,
hard to say no to that.
Good for that. Well, it's very hard to say no to that. Mm-hmm. I mean, the man was in his 30s, 40s. I don't think they had children, which made the decision a lot easier if they didn't have kids, obviously. But to get up and root away from your whole family when you've lived your whole entire life and moved to a different country, the other side of the world, that's a big, yeah.
I mean, I didn't do that. In a sense, I just got up and left. But
yeah, and you're going to be sleeping on a pull-out couch, too.
Yeah, I can't wait for that back pain.
I mean, I live with it. You can deal with it.
I pulled one of the stitches out a little bit. Shit hurts like a bitch.
Oh man, you're gonna get it's so severe, so severe. It's such a crazy.
It's all black and blue. It's still like twice the size of my other one.
Oh god, the swelling. You're gonna have to. Man, I mean, did you figure out how to get the PICC line in yet? You got the flush it. I mean, it's just what's her face? Flushed it. I'm not gonna dox your girlfriend here. I almost did. She gone and figure out how to saline rinse it and plug it with antibiotics so you don't get sick from such a severe laceration like that?
I just do what they suggested. Let soap and water run over it.
Okay, so you're not playing with the bit still anymore, asshole.
Pretty big laceration. You need a lot of soap. I used half a bottle the other day to clean it all.
Dude, I had that. Okay, so there was this time when I lived by a cemetery. I guess now, Philip, while I'm telling this story, think of some funny stories of stuff we've done we can tell real quick, and we'll wrap this up because it's becoming length. There was this time I was in the cemetery by my house because I almost live on a dead end, but I don't.
I would consider it a dead end. I mean, yeah, you got that left street.
Yeah, and the end is the entrance to a cemetery, and in the back of that cemetery, it's not very big. There is a state-owned dump, which is a felony to be to even go on, which I didn't know until a police officer told me when I was back there one day. But we didn't get arrested or anything. He just
Right.
told us to leave. We never did. We weren't doing stuff. We just like to look.
It was building.
Oh yeah. So, but we'll get back to the original story. But speaking of that building that Philip murmured, that building that he's talking about used to be the mortuary and where they would store because I live in New England, and obviously once it's like realistically the middle of November maybe, or even like late September, probably early November, you can't dig holes in the ground to bury people, so you got to put the body somewhere. In the back of this place is also the building, so where they would keep these bodies, and the only thing preventing people from getting into the back entrance was
a broken fence, pretty much, gate.
Was a steel bar gate with a lock and chain that had enough slack around it to open 6 inches to crawl through. And I'm not saying I did go in there because it's also a historical landmark, but I know people who have been in there, and it is incredibly frightening.
They have really cold.
Yes, even if it's
eerie, it's so eerie.
Yes, people have told me it's incredibly eerie, and half of it is mental aspect, obviously.
Yeah.
But people I know, because I'm not saying I
hear shit in there, man.
I mean, I'm not saying I've been in there, but people have told me who have been in there, of hearing weird things. Like I'll tell this one story about these people I know who told me they were back there lighting fireworks off because it's a perfectly safe area to do it.
Right.
And I'm not even joking about that. There's nothing to hit, and there was no houses or anything. But then it started to downpour, and the only place to take shelter was in that building. Yeah. So my friends happened to, slip in there for like 10 minutes and look around for the storm to pass. And
I remember that.
And they reported the most eeriest feeling. It was really warm out that day, and it was like, it had to have been like 20 or 30 degrees colder in there. And this is only a brick building. Granted, it is built in to a hill, so I imagine that is the core reason of the temperature difference, because when you're surrounded on two corners by, literally a mound of dirt, you're gonna be insulated pretty well.
Right.
And they told me, they could see these old steel shelving units that are like 8 feet deep going back. Some of them still had lids on them that the caskets and bodies would slide into inside of that building.
Like a cylindrical tubing thing.
Yeah, inside there was this pile of what looked like regular Dixie-sized cups. But if you took that cup and you filled it with cement, but there appeared to be about 3,000 of these in a pile, and it made no sense, they told me.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And also in there, they kept an added factor they told me, which they kept, and they also, we'll talk about it in a second too, which they also keep. They kept the broken and old coffin liners in there, and they kept a lot of like children's and infant coffin liners in there. And I don't know if any of you ever dealt with a lot of like funeral and cemetery stuff, but there is nothing creepier than children's grave marker stuff, children's caskets, cement that goes into the cement markers. That's the casket markers. So when you see a bunch of those in a building where thousands of dead people have been kept, because this building is a couple hundred years old, and
at least by now,
even though it has a date. It does. I'll have to go in there.
Well, I was gonna say we'll have to go and update it.
I mean, not by go in there, I mean go in the cemetery and take a picture of because there's a placard that dates it, and I believe they stopped using it in like the 80s. But literally thousands of people were housed there. So like if you're a believer of religion and spirits and stuff, this is a place you probably want to avoid.
Oh yeah.
But what they told me was after about 10 minutes, they were starting to hear voices, and there's only one other door in this place. There's actually one door.
Front and back.
Yeah, there's not even a back door. The back door at the time was that gate. The front door was a giant cathedral-style church door.
Which was also gated.
that is gated and locked shut that you can't pull, and probably weighs like, I don't know, a couple hundred pounds.
Dude, it's got to be at least a 6-inch, thick piece of door per each door.
Oh yeah, no, each side of that door is about 6 inches. It is not playing around. That door they reported hearing some voices, and that door started to rattle from the other side of the building. And it's about, I would say, give or take 30 yards, from door to door. Because you could literally go into the front door, walk straight, and walk out the back, and there was just 4 chambers with no open, door chambers. And
about 20 feet, I would say, maybe.
Yeah, and it was once that happened, it terrified my friends. I'm not going to say I was there or not, but if I was, I can't blame them for running out of there as fast as they could.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's even just biking by it when we take bike rides, and then it's fucking eerie.
Yeah, I mean the last time I was in that back area. Yeah, the last time I was in that back part was many, many years ago.
Yeah,
and
it's been a long time.
They actually welded a steel bar across it so you can't get in and out and you can't move the gate anymore. I mean, you could pick the lock and open it, but that's what you need. That is definitely creepy. Yeah, it was creepy.
Yeah, it's not a fun place to be in.
No. I don't know how we got here. How did we get here, Phil?
Oh, my God. You were talking about your row at a dead end, and then cemetery. From what did that stint off from, though?
Yeah, no, this part I won't edit out. That's what I'm trying to think too. I'm gonna have to start remembering to take notes.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember. Good thing I bring them in. It's a lot smoother. I don't really have to edit anything out like I did the first time.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, that place is messed up. If you're into that like spiritual stuff, like I'm not much of a believer of anything. But when you're in that area,
mentally messes with you.
Yes, there's something. It's bad juju or bad mojo, whatever you want to call it. It's I believe in a karma principle almost, maybe.
Right, you do good, someone there, something else happens to you.
Yeah, and you can almost feel
you
can feel the remnants of like the people who have rested there for the winters, who had heinous amounts of bad karma that's still stagnant in those walls.
Like hundreds of pairs of eyes, just from every direction.
It feels like you're
like a leopard go back again.
Yeah, like you're being watched. Oh yeah. It's something.
My friend who went in there once, he'll never go again.
Yeah, no, we'll just do Pilot's Life ghost hunts. When Gage comes,
it'd be so fucked up to do it in there. Oh.
Well, Crystal's planning on coming up. Crystal. Yeah, Crystal.
Yo, Crystal, where you at?
Christy's planning on coming up in a few weeks, months, whatever.
Damn, I won't be there.
No, you won't, unfortunately. Maybe we'll just go live and do a PL ghost hunt.
That might get a lot of viewers.
Yeah, I thought about adding video elements into this too. Because this will have to be on YouTube. There's no more SoundCloud because
right.
SoundCloud's a ripoff, and I'm not going to talk about it.
The only thing it's good for is finding songs Spotify and Apple Music don't have.
Did you know I can get this on Spotify?
Really? Oh, you can just post it, right?
Yeah, you have to go through it and claim it, and it's like a process. But
should do it.
I might.
Get out there.
I kind of want to just to be the only podcast, SAMP server advertising on Spotify.
Right. Do it.
The intrinsic value of the lulls is almost gold.
It's good turning to something you didn't expect.
to find the Pilot's Life on fucking Spotify would be fun. Dude, I would laugh every single dime.
Because there's probably more Spotify users than there is on, that know how to use Discord or whatever, They in search and blah, blah, blah.
Well, of course, yeah. No, I mean, that's why I have Twitter, Phil. You don't even follow me. You don't even follow the show.
I don't have my account since my iPhone blew up. Oh, I didn't bring that up yet.
Oh, yeah. Tell us the story about why you love Apple.
They know about it. Well, some of them know about it.
Well, for the rest, I don't.
Shit. When was Thanksgiving? Almost a month ago? Yeah, almost a month ago. Fucking, I was at work, minding my own business, drinking coffee, whatever. My phone in the pocket, nothing wrong. Got like 90% charged. It just starts to smoke and fucking sizzle in my pocket. I fucking take it out and wick it at the cigarette cabinet. whip it by the coffee and bring it outside for, so it doesn't smoke and explode anymore in the store. It was bad. I should post some pictures of it too. It's terrible.
Yeah, send them to me. Since I'm gonna have to put this on YouTube, I will include them into the video. It's just the video. Oh shit! Don't smoke, children. The video is just gonna be, the Pilot's Life Radio logo, and then like when we talk about this part, it'll flip to the images.
Yeah, it was not a good time. It was really hot and smelly, and it smelled like burnt battery acid for an hour.
And that's the second time you've had a battery blow up in your pocket.
The second time, yes. The first time might have been much worse. It could have been much worse.
The first time could have been much worse because the first time I was driving in my car when his vaporizer's battery, he had an 18650 mech mod, a really nice one actually, but it somehow, what did you, shorted the button out?
The battery is vented in my pocket. I had it in my back pocket.
Yeah, it shorted out on something in his pocket, and it heated up to the point where it started to vent out and burnt through his pants. And thankfully,
poor Honda car seat.
Yeah, no. The main point, like that, he never talks about is how lucky he was that the vent happened to be pointing away from him.
Twice.
Because it burnt a good 6-inch strip that was about 2 inches wide and 2 to 3 inches wide and 2 inches deep into this foam in seconds. So if that vent was on his skin, that you would have burnt your fucking ass off, literally.
I still go to your Instagram and reference that day to people like, oh, it doesn't happen. Oh, it happens.
Very rarely.
Right, we were taking I think we were driving, giving Big Vince a ride home, and then
we were giving Big Vince a ride.
Yeah, lucky it didn't happen then. Sucked.
I know, God, he could have probably tried to sue me for something.
Oh, Big Vince.
He was a good guy.
He was.
But that's a long story for another time. Stop clicking on shit, dude. Pissing me off.
Just pissing the listeners off.
Well, it will. But we'll wrap this up in a sec. It's gotten a little long, and nice talking to you. It's always fun to talk. You'll be probably a reoccurrer. Trying to think what else I have on my list here.
I pulled it up earlier, but I forgot where it went.
That's the beautiful part about taping it, not doing it live, is I can fuck up. Like this conversation right here about me taping and fucking up, I'm cutting out.
Cut out, yeah. His ears, players, hated players, New York.
Yeah, no, I have the list right in front of me. I've got it all. Except, yeah. Anything you want to bring up?
Not that I can think of.
All right, then I'll wrap this up with like 3 more, and then.
It might sound like shit. I mean, it sounds like shit as it is.
No, I listened to the first bit. It's listenable.
Is it?
Yeah. And then, after that, there's that time, Phil, when I got you a job. I'm not gonna name names and places and stuff, but I can say
a lot of things about that.
No, but it's a wonderful place. That's the thing. That's
It was.
We're not going to talk about it. But
that place was good. But
the commute was about 30 to 90 minutes on average a day. Yeah. Both ways. And you did that for what? About a year with me? Or maybe a little more, because you also got, when you got for that job, you worked at the vape store.
Which was like, I don't know, less than a mile from the actual place.
Yes.
So that worked out pretty well.
Not for me, but for you it did. Do you have any feelings about that time spent in those car rides and those commutes?
I miss them often. I do.
Me too. Yeah.
It was really good time.
It was a good time.
Shit, I drive myself to work and it's like, oh, this is boring.
Because I knew this kid was going to run away to New York with his girlfriend. Well, technically fiance, right?
Yeah. 2 years
now. And I knew it was going to happen eventually, so I prepped him up with as much stuff as I could on what to do, how to do, blah, 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 and I made sure I was going to send my little man away unprepared into the wild without a knife or something. There was a million analogies I could have made, but all of them were very inappropriate. So we made sure of that. I do miss those too. A lot of music. I look back at when Spotify sent me their yearly reports, 17's listening through my playlist, my top 2017, bring back all of that car rides. That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, we had so many good times.
Yeah, in Hondas and Subarus.
At a time we almost got hit in the Honda because that retard was backing out and didn't look.
Dude, you know what?
Down that side road.
It's happened so many times to me in my life, I don't even remember.
It happens all the time, man. It's like, lucky I can avoid it. Swerve out of the way.
No, yeah, I just avoid it, and I don't even get mad about it too much anymore. That's the thing. It's just like, whatever.
I just speed.
One question about the pilot's life I've wondered for a little while was, why did you switch your name from BiggiePhil to Requestname?
It was when that command was introduced. I was like, oh, it'll be funny. Ho, ho, ho.
No, yeah, I give you kudos. It's incredibly sarcastic.
I don't know. I've kept it ever since.
Yeah, no, it's a good name. To be completely honest with you, I thought that was going to be your answer. It doesn't take a monkey to figure that out.
No. Well, some people ask, well, why is it that? Well,
long story.
Common sense, yeah.
And last but not least, before we wrap this up, do you have anything to promote? Got any, pages like Gage's got 27th Media? I believe that's at Instagram. I'm sorry, he's gonna yell at me. I don't know his tags. So,
I guess I can do the Instagram.
Yeah, plug away.
I don't post very often, but I mean I do post. It's like at MA_cloudlife is one of my main Instagrams I use a lot. So anything vape related, blah blah blah, hit me up. I know everything pretty much.
There will be a link to it in the description. Got anything else?
Oh, no, our Facebook page actually. Outrageous Pics.
Oh yes, we could probably. Yeah, you starting that up again?
That's been getting more views. I get notifications every day from it. 142 people like it and 142 follow it.
All right, well maybe we should start posting on that.
I posted on the October 11th was the last time.
All right, yeah, that's also something we could post a link to. Keep in mind for the Facebook followers.
Yeah, I'll send you the links.
And I'm an admin of it. I have it.
Yeah.
But I guess this would be a good time for us to call it a wrap now that, my man Philip here has got all his plugs plugged away. His pluggables have been inserted. It's been a pleasure. I mean, it's always special when you get to interview your little brother, who I'm sure will be, a regular.
I will return.
Yeah, because this is not just going to be interviewing Pilot's Life players. I kind of plan to, and probably will just do it anyway, to expand to a lot of other types of programming under the PL podcasting or PL radio brand name.
We'll get one. We'll get one when I come down.
Oh yeah, no, Phil will be down in a few weeks. We'll get cocked, and we plan on doing something. Well, whatever. I don't pay attention. Philip comes down in a few weeks. We'll do something, maybe a video. I don't know. We'll definitely have some content. My buddy Pat is a bit of a lush. I'm not gonna lie, he's an alcoholic. So he's told us he's gonna come down and get drunk, and he's said he'd come on and we'll have a random shit chat about stories, and we'll try to do that soon. But anything else you would like to say, my man?
I'm going to promote IBEX because, it's the best drug in NPL.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Fuck TransX.
Oh, fuck you. You want this to be a 3.5-hour podcast now, you piece of shit? Because I have nothing else to do all day. I will...
Go IBEX and IA.
No.
Stars is a bunch of leads.
No. That's a good closer, my man. We'll end it with that. But BiggiePhil, Requestname, whatever you want to call yourself, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man, of course.
Until next time.